Every trader believes, at some point, that there's a perfect setup out there, the one that always works, that filters out uncertainty, that removes all doubt. You spend hours scrolling through charts, back-testing indicators, tweaking entries, trying to find that magical structure that will finally make everything click. But here's the truth that every professional eventually learns. There is no perfect setup. The search for one isn't progress. It's procrastination disguised as discipline. The time you spend looking for perfection is time stolen from mastery. Perfection in trading doesn't exist because markets don't repeat perfectly. They rhyme, they echo, but they never clone themselves. The moment you find something that looks flawless, it starts changing. And the more you chase that illusion, the further you move from consistency. Trading isn't about finding certainty. It's about developing confidence through repetition. That's why professionals focus on process, not perfection. They understand that an imperfect setup, executed with precision, beats a flawless idea that never makes it to the screen. Every setup, even the best ones, come with streaks of losses. That's not a flaw in the setup. That's the nature of probability. The traders who survive aren't the ones with the highest win rates. They're the ones who accept randomness and keep showing up. If your setup has an edge, it will show up in the long run. But if you keep switching the moment it stops working, you'll never gather enough data to prove or refine it. You'll stay stuck in a loop of starting over, forever chasing something that doesn't exist. The search for the perfect setup is often a form of emotional avoidance. It feels safer to research than to face the discomfort of execution. You tell yourself you're improving when really, you're protecting yourself from the pain of losing. But that's how trading humbles people. By showing that growth isn't found in avoiding discomfort, but in working through it. Mastery begins the moment you stop hiding behind potential and start refining what's already in front of you. Think about it. Every professional athlete practices the same moves thousands of times. Every craftsman repeats the same motions until they're effortless. Why should trading be different? Mastering one setup gives you a deep understanding of structure, context, timing, and behavior. Lessons that carry over into every other kind of trade. If you can't trade one setup with consistency, adding 5 more won't help. It'll just multiply your confusion. Once you stop chasing perfection, something shifts. You start to see beauty in simplicity, in the structure of your setup, in the calm that comes from knowing exactly what you're looking for. The market stops feeling like chaos and starts feeling like familiar terrain. You're no longer trying to predict. You're anticipating. You're no longer reacting. You're responding. And that subtle difference between reaction and response is where professionalism begins. The irony is that the more you simplify, the faster you grow. Because when you work one setup deeply, you begin to understand not just what works, but why it works. You develop a sense for context that can't be taught in books. It can only be earned through experience, and that experience compounds. What feels repetitive at first becomes instinctive. What feels limiting becomes liberating. You trade less, but you see more. You stop searching because you've already found what you need: structure, process, and belief. The truth is, the traders who make it aren't the ones who find the best setup. They're the ones who stick with one long enough to make it their own. The market doesn't reward perfection, it rewards persistence. So stop searching for the perfect setup. Start refining the one you already understand. Every day you commit to it, you get closer to mastery. And when you look back a year from now, you'll realize that one setup was never just a trade. It was your teacher, your mirror, and your path to becoming a professional.